I do believe that President Trump is actually protected under the continuity of government. I believe he's our authentic president and that we are watching a movie.
Oh, really? So he's the current president of the United States?
I believe that.
So then how is Biden doing in his role? Is he the president right now?
No, Biden is an actor, but I think Biden has been gone a long time.
Got it. So Trump is still the president according to this MAGA moron. And the real president, Joe Biden, apparently has a stunt double because the real one is dead. These are actual people who go to the ballot box and vote, affecting so many lives. And if you thought that was bad, check out this clip.
Is there anything that could happen with him indictment-wise that would say, all right, maybe this disqualifies him for president?
Not for me. I'm with him to the finish.
All right, thank you so much.
He could stand on the front steps of the White House and commit murder, and I'm with him.
He's laughing, but dead ass serious. This is a cult, and a terrifying one at that. All those jokes in years prior about how Trump supporters could see Donald going up on Fifth Avenue in New York and murdering somebody and they still would ride for him, those were not just jokes. There was actually truth behind them. And what's also real has been Trump's insistence on attacking the trans community overall and specifically in sports.
On my first day in office, I'll revoke Joe Biden's cruel policies on so-called gender-affirming care. Gender-affirming, a process that results in the physical mutilation of minor children. And we will keep men the hell out of women's sports. You think that's okay?
Now, for some even on the left, the topic of trans athletes in sports, specifically trans women, can be a tough topic because there's limited research on whether trans athletes have an athletic advantage over their adopted gender. That being said, it's extremely bold for Trump to say that he's going to ban trans women from sports and then answer a question posed by the egotistical Brett Favre, who has his own skeletons in his closet, about not mixing sports with politics like this.
People don't want to see all of the politics. They've got enough politics with me and with everybody else. And they don't want to see it with football and sports on Sunday or whenever they happen to be watching. They want to respect the American flag. They want respect for our country. They want respect for the American flag.
This man is a walking contradiction because you saying that you and people want to see the athletes respect the American flag is inherently political. And let's not forget, he ain't have no issue with the DOD pouring in millions of dollars to the NFL dating back to 2009 so that players would show up on the field during the national anthem, because before that, they didn't. Paid patriotism is what that is. Man's talking out of two sides of his mouth. But I digress. And you've seen so much hate against the LGBTQ plus community, specifically the trans community, like from this idiot on Newsmax suggesting this.
And then their propensity to use violence, like we saw in Nashville with the transgender shooter that killed 6 people, including 3 little children, and then what we witnessed in Philly. This is the real threat to America.
No, you moron, the greatest threat to America is white supremacy. But y'all don't want to have that conversation because then that would expose everything about you and your belief system. And the amount of hate crimes and proposed bills against the LGBTQ plus community has been frightening. According to this March article, lawmakers in 46 states have introduced more than 650 anti-LGBTQ plus bills, according to MAP. Bringing it back to trans athletes, instead of proposing fair and regulated guidelines for trans athletes to compete, such as hormone therapy monitoring, medication requirements, and so on, Trump is playing into, and so many others, into the fear-mongering of conservatives who do not like the trans community. And the whole notion that trans women athletes are going to make it unfair for women without any type of evidence is ludicrous. And oh, by the way, there was a rare study done on trans athletes in 2015 by Harper. So they studied 8 women, and it showed that their race time slowed after transitions from male to female, while their performance relative to sex match runners stayed the same. And you remember back in 2022 how so many bigots and fragile people were claiming that NCAA swimming champion Leah Thomas had an unfair advantage against other swimmers because she used to be a man? Well, the facts show little evidence that she performed differently than other women. Remember, she started hormone replacement therapy in 2019. So what did we learn here? Trans athletes are not robbing you of your victory, Susie or Sally. In some cases, you just sucked. You're not that good. Obviously, we want women of all kinds to be safe when engaging in any type of sport, but for Trump to shut down discussion, potential research opportunities, and just throw out a blanket ban on the subject really highlights that Trump does not care about the freedom of all individuals. He's only appealing to his base of worshipers, which they are. They will die for that man. And, outside of team sports, you have weight classes, you have divisions, and plenty of other measures to keep competition within men and women's leagues fair. So why can't conservatives conceive to extend the same grace towards trans athletes who aren't hurting anybody? For TYT Sports, I'm Chris Williamson. We'll see you next time.